friends, Jewel back with ya. Haven't seen you in a few weeks. I've been super busy. But let's talk about the moon conjunct Venus today in the natal chart. So, people who have this conjunction or any aspect between moon and Venus don't do well with confrontation. The need for balance and harmony are so closely linked that there's a belief in safety and security and balance through harmony, through agreement, through what Venus is, being agreeable, sometimes even beautiful, acceptable. Disagreement brings lack of balance and unsteadiness to people who have Venus moon aspects. And the moon is how we balance ourselves. How do we bring ourselves back to peace? And it's the unconscious, habitual, emotional patterns that we employ to get back to that place, back to that safety zone, that comfort zone. Aspects to any planet show the emotional and psychological complexes that we wrestle with or see through that then allow us to, sorry, I have a fly in here. Last time it was a ladybug. That allow that aspected planet to be as it is. So you want to release ourselves from those difficult aspects so that planet can live out the archetype described by the sign that it's in, unfettered. So this conjunction and all moon Venus aspects imply a need for acceptance, a need for getting along, and so that is going to come with an avoidance of confrontation. They don't do well when upset and are geared towards keeping things nice, not rocking the boat. So there can be a more superficial approach to how they are in the world and how they deal with people. Unless we have some other aspects that are quite gritty, we're likely to deal with issues surrounding being too agreeable or being too nice. And so when we're being like that, we're not admitting or sharing our true feelings or our true selves in a way that's really honest. Because if we're needing acceptance, that's going to require repressing a lot of our own feelings, a lot of our own anger, a lot of our own desires, a lot of the feelings that aren't going to automatically cause others to like us. If the need is there to be liked, we're prone to doing things or only sharing ourselves in ways or admitting to feelings that are going to support that need to be liked. So we have to balance this aspect with authenticity and learning how to handle confrontation and dealing with it when it's appropriate. Socially, people with this conjunction know how to handle other people, how to show up in a way where they are, seen as graceful or helpful, a wonderful host. And they often do long for a beautiful home and a beautiful environment. They do see luxury and beauty as a source of emotional reward. So this goes beyond our relationships when we have this particular conjunction. We tend to want to see beauty everywhere we look. That, makes... And they can be, very giving partners and often believe that the more that they give love, the more that they're likely to have that then be recognized and appreciated and reciprocated. What they often don't get, though, is a reciprocal response that they're looking for, because they are too giving, not as demanding as they probably should be when it comes to getting their own needs met. So they can be easy to take advantage of because other people sense that need to belong or to be liked, and they know that they can push people with this conjunction very, very far because that need exists. These are both passive planets, and so when they're coming into a conjunction, this is really going to signal the need to develop some, I want to say some balancing characteristics, or to just see out of the need to be liked. Because when we can push back, or when we can expect what we put in, that's going to create health, balance, real harmony, not a fake harmony. So people that have this are in relationships to ensure that their needs get met through giving, but then they get taken advantage of and then end up feeling bankrupted, empty, and on the inside, because they give so much. They could even end up being bankrupted when it comes to money. If we're giving and giving and then not receiving a regular deposit into our own bank, we will end up with nothing, and then end up feeling resentful because we've given until we're empty. So people with this particular conjunction need to make sure they are receiving a regular influx of reciprocal attention and feeling valued in their relationships. It's a beautiful conjunction. There are wonderful things about this, and if you can handle it in a healthy way, then you can get the best out of it. Because people with this aspect have a wonderful eye for beauty and line, design. They have wonderful ideas about aesthetics and style. They are sometimes too into style or beauty, because this is, again, what makes them feel peaceful. So we always balance, balance, balance. So this can be a very creative combination and can feel, even more in harmony with themselves when they're creating things of beauty and value. And that includes relationships. So it's when you appreciate your own love nature and your own Venus nature and your own beauty as much as others that you're going to find what you're looking for. It's a false selfishness that they have to pierce through in order to realize a more appropriate understanding of selfishness. The relationship with selfishness is off. Their habit of agreement is in place to make sure other people value them, but it leads to acting in these largely superficial or inauthentic ways. So you have to get used to the fact that when you are really uniquely creative, as people with this conjunction are, not everyone is going to like you because you're doing something unique. And this fact will filter out the people who don't resonate with you. You will no longer be a big fish in a small pond, which is a lot of times the motivation behind this conjunction. But the people who you do attract into your life will have a much more sincere bond with you and will value you on a truly deep level. And you will feel that your feelings are known, that more of your wants, what your real values are known, and then being responded to because they're showing up. Many people with this aspect do not know what they want. They know what everyone else may want from them or want them to be, but a lot of times they don't know what they actually want. We have to ask ourselves specific Venus questions that allow us to trace back what Venus really is, to us. So what are you willing to spend your money on? What are you willing to spend your time on? What is it that when you do it, you lose yourself? You forget yourself. This is going to show you what you value. We want to find pleasure in life with this particular conjunction. I mean, we feed off of pleasure. So you need to figure out what your actual pleasures are. There's more pleasure in life than just being liked. There's a deeper pleasure. There's a self-acceptance that can come rather than a large acceptance. So we have to start to put our values out there, put our real feelings out there, and expect that the world is going to respond to those in a reciprocal way. And if they don't, well, that was a wonderful filtering process. Not everyone will like us when we show who we really are, what we really feel, and what we really value. But again, the people who really do appreciate you will like you. And you don't have to bother with the ones that you're putting up an act for. They just get to go and be as they are. And the assumption that you have to give more in order to be loved or accepted is what often will lead you to not be loved or accepted. People do not trust us if we aren't willing to enforce our boundaries, because they know they can push us far. And then they know, therefore, that other people can too. When we learn to trust in our own wants and learn those wants deserve to be responded to, we learn to value ourselves, and then we learn to trust our own feelings and our own sense of value. We aren't looking to bring that in from outside of ourselves through being accepted or liked. So we're generally too trusting with aspects between Moon and Venus, not trusting in our own self, but too trusting in others. But in learning to trust first our own needs and wants and feelings, that translates to learning how to trust the right people and filter out the wrong ones. So we're not trusting everyone, and not everyone is trusting us, but it's more appropriate for who we authentically are. So it's really about showing up as your true self so that the people who truly value you and love you are going to be the ones who get your time and your attention. Trusting our own feelings, trusting our own wants, and putting that out there and trusting that those are going to be responded to without us needing to, include it with a coupon or a bonus or, something that's more. And so we're putting out, more, trying to ensure that we'll get something back. But what we get back is never going to be over the top the way we gave. So it's again that appropriate self-value leads to you displaying your value in a more appropriate way. And then you get appropriate reaction, or you could say payment for that. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com, and I also have a new membership option on my website as well. Please check that out. I upload a lot more videos there than I do here. Been a little bit slow this past couple weeks with Mercury retrograde. I've got the message. I'm trying to slow down. And So check me out over there. Yes, I do private consultation, and I'll be back super soon with more super cool videos.